everybody, it's time for the Monday Mr. Money Mustache motivation, but before we get into it, I had a first email for a solicitation for a try this product and review it on YouTube thing. Want to guess what the product was for? I'll give you a hint. It was for a keratin hair care product thing. I guess they thought I needed help with this gigantic mane of curls, which I probably do need help with that, yeah, but this is a financial channel and I'm not going to be reviewing hair care products on here. I just thought that was funny anyway, that my first email along those lines was a hair product. Yeah, it does what it wants to do. Anyway, we'll get into the next episode of the Monday Mr. Money Mustache Motivation. This one is from April 24th, 2011. Unleash your inner Hasselhoff for greater riches. Quote, I drive a pickup truck because it's comfortable and sometimes I need to haul things on the weekend. There's nothing in the fridge right now, so let's just go out for dinner. I've read that Mr. Money Mustache claims to save $94,432 every 10 years by riding a bike, but I don't have a bike, so that's not an option for me. It would be nice not to have to drive an hour to work, but it's just so much hassle to move to a new house. Y'all know I have that hour and 15-minute commute one way to work. Whenever I hear people explaining some of the biggest expenses of their lives, they are usually expressed in terms of emotion, hassle, and fear of the unknown. They are afraid of making changes in their lives because they are imagining a great tsunami of pain and inconvenience washing over them as soon as they try to change the status quo. Oh no, I can't deal with the hassle. My life is already hard enough. But guess what? You're already in the tsunami, sucker. How much hassle is it to get up uncomfortably early every morning, rush through breakfast, drive on a crowded and or slushy road, stare out the office window as day after beautiful day slips by, and maybe miss out on bringing up your own children because you and your spouse both work full-time jobs? So you're already an expert at dealing with hassle. You do it every day, and the reason you do it is for money. If you have a job that you keep mostly because you need the money, you are a professional hassle manager. Let's invent a slick new word for it. You are a Hasselhoff. As a Hasselhoff, you should probably start looking around at who will pay you the most for putting up with hassle. Right now, perhaps you make $60,000 per year, which is $28.84 per hour. After all taxes, let's say that is about $22 per hour. You can advance to a better job, but maybe there are some other ways to use your time where you'll get paid even more. But what about the biggest hassle listed above, moving to a new house? It sounds like a big project, but I've done it a few times, currently on my 3rd owned house and 9th address, including rentals over the past 15 years. So on the most recent move, I actually kept a work log of how much time it takes to move. I included sprucing up the old house for sale or rent, house shopping, getting a mortgage, and going to 2 closings, packing up the old house, doing the move in a $50 rented U-Haul truck, and unpacking into the new house. Overall, it took about 200 person hours, equal to about 1 month of office work, including commuting, or 1 month of the average American couple's combined television watching. If this couple considers themselves professional Hasselhoffs and is earning $22 each per hour, then the move costs them $4,400 of their time. If they are buying and selling a $250,000 house and they lose 6% in realtor commissions and other closing costs, that adds $15,000. Yeesh, that's about 20 grand in total. Will they ever get that back? The short answer is yes. Making a move like this actually saves them about $1,600 a month, enough to pay for the $20,000 in relocation costs and have about $1,450 a month left over to turbocharge their stash. I included the math to back this up at the bottom of this post so you can review the calculations. Using my usual 10-year example, this family who moves closer to work will be about $256,000 richer after 10 years just for moving. This is a gigantic part of what anyone needs to retire. My job as Mr. Money Mustache is to teach you that whenever you hear the hassle bell ringing and trying to sway your purchasing decisions, make sure you sit down with a calculator and see if it's actually a hidden opportunity to increase your pay as a Hasselhoff. If you'd like some help with the calculations and some free entertainment to go with it, send me a comment with your own situation and we'll see how we can increase your pay. So yeah, this was another one of those blog posts that I read that sort of resonated with me because I am guilty of having a long commute. And you know, much like Mr. Money Mustache, I myself have gone through several moves in the last 10 years. 15 years of my life, probably about 10 of them myself, mostly apartment to apartment. This house that I am in right now was the first house I ever bought. And thing is, I used to live closer to where I worked. Before I worked as an ultrasound tech, I worked as a registered veterinary technician in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I used to live in Charlotte. I used to be about 5 minutes from work. And yeah, you know, I realized that saves a lot of money doing that. But actually, when I finished school for ultrasound, I decided to move up here to the mountains, even though it does create a commute for me. I'm from the mountains of North Carolina, and through, it is home for me. So even though I have a commute, I realize it is costing me money to drive such a long way for work, but I do have a few things going for me. Mr. Money Mustache is assuming that whoever is driving this long commute doesn't have a gas-efficient vehicle. Also is assuming that they're having to drive to work 5 days a week. I work third shift, yes, but I only do 3 12-hour shifts at night, so I only have to drive to work 3 times a week. And being third shift, I really don't have to deal with a whole lot of traffic. Most of the traffic is going the other direction. And with me in a hybrid vehicle, I'm saving money doing that. And I actually did, before I accepted this job that I'm at right now, I actually did interview for a job that was at a nearby hospital about 5 minutes down the road. And compared to what I make working in a larger city with what this hospital was going to offer me, the pay is about double. And honestly, if I did math shit up and look at what I would be saving not having to commute 3 nights a week a long way versus driving 5 minutes down the road 5 days a week, making half, the math, it just doesn't work out for me in that situation. Now, maybe one day I could find something that was a little bit closer for me that would pay similarly, and if that were to happen, then sure, maybe I'll look into it. But I'm actually really liking where I'm at right now as far as employment goes, and I don't see myself going anywhere. Not only is the schedule nice and the pay is good, the benefits are good as well. And, you know, I do have some health issues that I have to stay on top of, so I like the health care plan that I have already. That being said, this house that we're in right now, I like it. It's a good house for me and my husband, but it's actually not going to be our forever home. I love that we have a nice mountain view here, and I'm up in the mountains away from the big city. But the house we live in, it's actually quite loud. We've got, we live on a pretty busy 2-lane road, and there's logging trucks that go constantly down the road here, and they're blaring their Jake brakes and making all kinds of noise all the time. So it's not very peaceful here. So, you know, eventually we will move, but even with that said, I would not be looking to move so close to work that I would be out of the mountains. And if I was going to move that close, then I would definitely be down in the flatlands, and it's just not worth it to me. The next house that my husband and I get, I would like for it to be our forever home and not have to move again, because like I say, I've done enough moving in the past 10 years that I just don't want to do it again. And before we move again, it's going to have to be an absolutely perfect house for us to leave here. So as of right now, as far as finances go, the plan is for me to keep paying down on my consumer debts. I want to get my personal loan that I'm working on paid for, gonna get the bed paid off, gonna get my car paid off, and my student loans paid off. I plan on having all of that done before I turn 36, and I'm 33 right now. So 2 years, a little bit over, I think I should be able to have all of that done. At that point, I am going to start working on the house payment a little bit, putting extra principal towards it, because when I bought this house, I didn't know anything about buying houses or really much of anything about personal finance, and I did not buy it with 20% down, so I have to pay PMI for this house. It's on a 30-year mortgage, which means that most of my payments right now are going towards interest. Also, I have my taxes and everything escrowed in there, so a lot of it goes towards that too. So the plan is pay off my consumer debts, and then I'm going to pay on the principal of this house until I can get my PMI gone. And I think that should be about when I have the principal balance down to around $85,000. Right now it stands at $98,000, somewhere around in there. So it shouldn't take me too long to get the PMI gone. Once the PMI is gone, I'm a little bit torn as far as what I should do. Like I say, this is not our forever home. So I don't know if I should just continue to keep throwing money at the principal towards this house. The interest rate that I'm paying for this house is 4.25 fixed. Or should I just keep making the regular monthly payment for the house and then start saving up for a down payment towards a new house? What do you think I should do? I'm really torn on that, and I keep going back and forth all the time about it. I know as far as buying another house, it would be a lot easier and simpler to buy another house if this one was already paid for and I didn't have to worry about trying to sell it quickly. But at the same time, I hate to just pay this house down to nothing and then have to save up another down payment for our next house. So I don't really know what would be the best thing there. Comment below if you've got an opinion either way. I know that paying off a mortgage can be a little bit of a controversial topic for people that are following the FIRE, Financial Independence, Retire Early movement. And I just don't know if it would be best to pay this house down or save up for a down payment on a new house, considering the fact that I don't want to live here forever. This is not our forever home. So let me know what you think below. I'm really torn about it, and I'd appreciate any feedback y'all have. Merry Christmas Eve. I will see y'all soon for my next video. Bye.